Imagine the heartbreak of over 250 innocent schoolchildren snatched away in the dead of night from their beds at a Catholic boarding school, and the frustration when those responsible for their safety seem to be doing little to bring them home. This shocking incident in Nigeria's Niger State has sparked outrage, and it's a story that demands our attention to uncover the truth behind the delays and disputes. Just 2 hours ago, reports emerged from Madiner Maisharnu of BBC Africa, highlighting the dire situation in Nigeria's central Niger State. The leading Catholic bishop in the area, Bulus Dauwa Yohanna, openly criticized the Nigerian government, claiming they're putting in no real effort to save the more than 250 kids who were kidnapped from St. Mary's Catholic boarding school in the small village of Papiri last Friday. For those unfamiliar with such crises, kidnappings like this often involve criminal groups holding victims for ransom, turning schools into targets in a bid to extort money from families of the state, a heartbreaking reality that's all too common in parts of Nigeria, where economic desperation fuels these gangs. But here's where it gets controversial. Bishop Yohanna's strong words didn't go unchallenged. The state's top police official pushed back, pointing fingers at the school for not fully cooperating with the ongoing search and rescue efforts. This back and forth raises tough questions about accountability. Who's really dropping the ball here, and why can't everyone just work together to get these kids back safely? The identity of the kidnappers remains a mystery, but experts point to the same criminal syndicates plaguing the country, notorious for mass abductions aimed at financial gain. Nigeria, Africa's most populous nation with around 200 million people, is home to a diverse mix of Christians and Muslims, roughly split down the middle. Tensions can simmer, especially when violence strikes communities of faith. Adding fuel to the international fire, former US President Donald Trump has issued a stark warning. If Nigeria's leaders can't halt what he calls the killing of Christians, he might push for US military involvement. This bold stance has divided opinions globally. Some see it as necessary intervention to protect vulnerable minorities, while others worry it could escalate conflicts in an already volatile region. And this is the part most people miss. Nigeria's government insists that insecurity doesn't discriminate by religion. People of all beliefs, or none at all, are suffering from the widespread chaos of crime and unrest. On top of that, the country is battling a fierce insurgency from militant Islamist groups, like Boko Haram. Just last week, the government confirmed the tragic loss of a high-ranking army general in an ambush by jihadists in the northeastern Borno state, underscoring how deeply rooted these threats are. For beginners trying to grasp this, think of it as a multi-front war. Criminal gangs in the center, extremists in the north, all exploiting Nigeria's vast landscapes to evade capture. In a related development, U.S. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth recently met with Nigeria's National Security Advisor, Malam Nurubardu, as detailed in this official readout. https www.org.news release article readout of Secretary of War Pete Hegseth's meeting with Federal Republic of Niger. Their discussions focused on practical steps to curb violence against Christians in Nigeria and tackle jihadist terror networks across West Africa, according to a statement from the U.S. Department of War. This kind of high-level diplomacy could be a game-changer, but only if it leads to real action on the ground. Nigeria's presidential spokesperson, Bayo Onanuga, countered any suggestions of government-backed religious persecution, emphasizing that the security woes stem from a toxic blend of criminal activities, radical extremism, and disputes over land resources, issues that affect everyone, regardless of faith. He noted that both nations have committed to forming a joint working group to bolster defense ties and security collaboration, which sounds promising but will need close watching to see if it delivers results. According to the Niger State branch of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, an umbrella group representing Christian denominations across the country, exactly 303 students and 12 staff members were taken from the Papiri school. Hearteningly, 50 of the children escaped on their own and are now safely back with their families, a small victory amid the despair. Bishop Yohanna, who chairs the local CAN chapter and oversees the Catholic diocese in the region, shared his concerns directly with the BBC. He explained that the government's response so far has been limited to simply gathering the students' names from the school. No active searches, no deployments that he's seen. I'm not aware of any effort made by government beyond collecting the names of the students from us, he stated plainly. He also refuted claims from Niger State's governor, Umar Bago, who suggested in local news that the church ignored orders to shut down the school due to attack threats. We did not receive any order at any point, the bishop clarified, highlighting a potential communication breakdown that's all too common in crisis situations. When pressed on the visible lack of police presence in Papiri, State Police Chief Edermu Abdullahi Elman defended his team's efforts, saying sufficient officers were deployed, even if BBC reporters only spotted 3 at the school site. To give you a sense of the isolation, the BBC team travelled about 60 kilometres, or 37 miles, from the nearby town of Yuri along a key access road to Papiri and encountered just one checkpoint, with no armed officers in sight. This sparsity raises eyebrows. How effective can a rescue be without a strong, visible security blanket? Nevertheless, the police commissioner maintained that a specialised tactical unit, along with personnel from other agencies, was actively operating in the area. He pointed out that the police station in Aguara, a town close to Papiri, served as the main hub for operations. So they moved from Aguara police station to the school. Probably when you got there, they must have moved back to the headquarters, he told the BBC, offering an explanation that might ease some doubts but leaves room for skepticism about coordination. He reiterated that the hunt for the children was ongoing, though he noted the school hadn't yet formally reported to his office, a detail that could point to bureaucratic hurdles slowing things down. Meanwhile, Nigeria's National Police head, Kayode Betaken, announced ramped-up operations, including better intelligence gathering, to secure the release of the remaining captives. We are ready to give everything to ensure that the remaining pupils and their teachers still in captivity are rescued unhurt, he vowed in a statement following a meeting with the state governor. These words are reassuring, but actions will speak louder. This school abduction marks the 3rd such incident in Nigeria within a single week, painting a grim picture of escalating threats to education and safety. Just last Monday, over 20 schoolgirls, reportedly Muslim, were taken from a boarding school in neighbouring Kebbi State. Further south in Kwara State, a church attack claimed 2 lives and led to the kidnapping of dozens of worshippers, showing how these crimes cut across religious lines. In response, President Bola Tinubu scrapped his plans to attend the G20 summit in South Africa over the weekend, prioritising the domestic emergency. On Sunday, he took to social media to announce the successful rescue of all 38 worshippers abducted in Kwara. Let me be clear, I will not relent. Every Nigerian, in every state, has the right to safety, and under my watch, we will secure this nation and protect our people, he declared, a firm commitment that resonates with a nation weary of fear. The wave of kidnappings has prompted widespread school closures, with anxious parents flocking to retrieve their children from boarding facilities, a stark reminder of how insecurity disrupts everyday life and future opportunities for the young. In Lagos, Nigeria's bustling commercial hub and most populous state, officials are enhancing protections at schools, religious sites, and other vital locations to ward off potential assaults. Additional insights from Chris Ewiker and Ebiomi Adiser. As we wrap up this troubling tale, one can't help but wonder, is the Nigerian government's response truly inadequate, as the bishop claims, or are their unseen efforts hampered by deeper systemic issues? And with international figures like Trump weighing in, could foreign involvement help or hinder? What do you think? Should global powers step up, or is this strictly Nigeria's fight? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's spark a conversation on how to protect the vulnerable and end this cycle of fear.